Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on BTBY television. And guess what? Today I am Regina Platt, the stepologist, and who joins me? Who is this lady right here?
I don't know. Sometimes there's a time I didn't know.
So I know her as Bren Woods, right? But you all may know her as
Well, I might be the professor of change. I might
mm,
be Brenda Ringwood. I might be a child of God, which there's no might be about that.
she is. Don't play. We just got out of a session. So here we are on today, and we're going to start off where we talk about the person, right? Brent, introduce the person of you, right? That person that people may perceive that they see, but don't even know yet. Let's talk a little bit about Bren, my friend. Come on.
Well, a few years ago, I would have told you I didn't know who I was, didn't know what I wanted to do, and I didn't know where my life was going because I was not living in my purpose. I was not living a happy life, and I was not living the life that God wanted me to live. So I had to change.
How many of you have ever been at that point where you didn't know who you was? You didn't know where you were going. You didn't know what your purpose aligned with. Let's be honest. Lean in. Come on, talk,
Very
tell us some
true. So,
more.
well, I had to realize that in order to do the things that I wanted in life, that I had to change, and I had to change from the inside to the outside, and it took time. And you can't just sit back and say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that anymore."
Mhm.
Your actions will tell you if you're not going to do that anymore. So I had to have a long period of time of change. Just like losing weight, you don't just wake up and say, "I'm going to lose weight," and 10 pounds falls off. You don't just make the decision to stop doing something and it just stops. It's a struggle. It's a struggle because it takes time. Just like going to the gym to change the body, it takes time. To change the mindset, it takes time. To change actions, it takes time. And I had to reflect on what that time was going to look like and what my life was going to look like by taking the time to make those changes.
So, a great man I know, Bishop Theodis Williams, he states this. He says that with great revelation comes transformation, right? And I need you all to settle in this as Bren is talking about this. The transformation normally comes in the inside before you ever get to see it show up. There's a transformation that's happening from within. And so people are looking at the outer while the work is happening in, and you're critiquing, belittling, and slandering the person who is struggling. But they're changing, so it's not that I can sit and say your life has been made over or that it's never going to be made over, or look at people and judge people, because you never know what's happening from within, because with great revelation comes transformation. And so
Yes.
do you want to add a little bit more to that piece before we move to the next part?
Well, I kind of do. And the reason why I would want to talk about that is that we all struggle. I don't care how much money you make, how great your family life is, how happy you are, there's still struggles. And we struggle because sometimes there's conflict that we're fighting within ourselves. And my dad used to tell me all the time that you are your own worst enemy. You do this to yourself. You bring all this about yourself. And he was right, because we want to be people pleasers and we want to make sure everybody thinks good of us, and we want to make sure that we have this appearance on the outside that we're this great person. And the reality is I was not. I was a sinner, deep in sin. I knew what I needed to do, but I wasn't doing it. And God said, enough, we're going to start working on you. And I listened. See, that's the key. I listened.
Are you listening?
Mm-hmm.
Are you listening? I'm sorry, I had to over you.
This
Are you
true.
listening? Because I've been at the point where I was at rock bottom. I've been at the point where I didn't know what my next was going to be because I wasn't listening. Are you listening? Are you listening? Because if you're listening, you don't have to go all the way to the bottom.
Mm-mm.
If you're listening, you can receive that, be able to look out and see that you got destiny agents that are aligning with you. Are you listening? Are you listening?
And when you listen, you will see God transform your life. And when I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about the people in your life. He will cut people out. He will bring people to you. He will bring situations to you, and he will bring you through to the other side where he wants you to be. But the process has to be taught. You have to go through it to understand it. And you have to go through it to realize you don't want to go back.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just wake up and it's done and there was no experience, then what's the transformation? What's the education on it? What is the lesson? So I had to really start to change my thoughts, change what I was saying, and then make sure my actions followed.
So, Bren, I want to ask you a question real fast. How did you see you?
I saw me as a broken mess. I saw me in a mud pit that was right up to my nose and I could barely breathe. And if I were to dip down at any point, I would have been gone, drowned.
How do you see you today?
I still see myself in the mud, but I only see it maybe to the knees instead of all the way up. And the reason why I say to the knees is because I'm still pulling myself out. Because I do have a past, I still have to remember that past, but let it fuel where I'm at. So sometimes that past comes back up and I'm back in that mud puddle, but I have to remember why I'm not up to here anymore.
So we were created from the dust of the earth, right? We came as women, we were created very good. I always go back to that. But coming from the dust of the earth reminds you that sometimes you're going to get a little dirty.
Mm-hmm.
For transformation to happen, you got to get a little bit dirty,
You
right?
do.
And so while you're in the mud getting a little bit dirty, I heard you say you got to pull yourself out. But Bren, I would say to you, one of the things I see is that you're not alone.
That's right.
And
That is true.
And that was a question I was going to ask you. Was there ever a part where you felt like you were alone? Because you're not alone anymore.
I did. And that was more the woe is me, the pity me, I'm all by myself. But the reality is I was never alone because Christ was there with me every step of the way. And he then brought people into my life that helped me through. And I could keep stepping up and stepping up and stepping up. And that mud was getting lower and lower and lower. And, he brings people into your life. He's brought you in my life. He's brought Isabel in my life. He's brought a lot of people. But the first thing that he did was he secured my family.
Come on.
Yep. He secured that family and they surrounded me and they healed that brokenness. And, that is why I do what I do, because my family deserves the best me. They deserve the best version of yourself. And your family deserves that too. And you deserve that. And when you are that best version of yourself, you don't have to remember what to say and what to do because you're just being the best version of yourself.
So I say, I will rest in the process of progress, right? That means that every day, the version of me that was in yesterday can't show up tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I'm resting in the process of progress. I'm not looking back. I'm stepping forward, right? I'm not looking back. I'm stepping forward. And for you to come all the way out of the mud, it may be a 10-year journey.
It might be.
You're going to keep looking forward and allow those that reach in to be able to help you get a little bit further than you were before. And so I know this lady to be a great lady, right? We've done a lot of work together. We did the Safe in His Arms together. Not only did we do Safe in His Arms together, if she asked me, I do it, right? Why? Because she's a woman on the move. She's a woman on the move. I'll say that to you. Some women, you're complacently sitting, but we're in a season where women need to align with other women on the move, because you may be posted, but guess what? There's a place called there for you. And so I would just want to say that the place called there for you to get to is BTBY, right? St. Louis, coming up October 21st through the 23rd. And I don't know no other place that I'd rather be than in the presence of women who are on the move, in the presence of with men who are on the move, in the presence of an atmosphere that's been set up for transformation to take place, right? But for you to get there, you're going to have to take a step and order your ticket, right?
Come on now.
Can you tell me a little bit about ordering a ticket in a place to get to a place called there?
If you want to get there, it's called BTBY, Becoming the Best You. And if you want to go there, you have to go to St. Louis and you got to go over to comechangeyourlife.com. And to be there, you can go in person or you can come just Saturday night and fellowship with us, or you can buy an online ticket. It's just $49 and that supports the movement. It supports what we're doing. So you can watch it anytime you want. It will be the full 3 days. And just go on over and check out some of the testimonials. Go over to our Facebook group at Becoming the Best You, saying overcome challenges, just like the website, and see what people are saying about this movement because it's real.
Whoo, she said it's real. So let's roll back here because we're talking about a BTBY television. We're talking about a conference, right? We're talking about live entertainment where you can get, and I don't, it shouldn't maybe call it entertainment, but some of y'all need to change your entertainment. You're looking at the wrong things. What you're watching is limiting you, but you can go on social media, you can go on YouTube, and it's all set up where you can get a powerful message from different people, from different locations, from different backgrounds, from different cultures who are on the move, right? Who understand that to become the best them is a journey. It's not just one step.
No.
It's a journey that you have to step through. And so tell me why. What was your why for coming up with the Becoming the Best You movement?
My why was because I was sick and tired of being looked at like a criminal. I was sick and tired of being thrown under the bus because of what I had done to myself in the past, the way I treated others and the way that my life was. And I just finally said, enough. I'm not that person anymore. As one of our speakers at Activate Your Power said, I've changed my address. I don't live there anymore. And in order to prove, sometimes you have to make your own way. So I decided that I was going to make my own way. I was going to create a platform for people just like me. It didn't have to necessarily be prison. It didn't have to be divorce. It didn't have to be health. It was any type of challenge that was holding them back, and gave them a platform that they could share on, they could become a family with, and that they could transform their lives just by the association, because we have real people. Every speaker that we have is vetted. Every story that they tell is true. And friendship, I thought I had friends. I thought I had friends in the past, but when trouble comes, you find out who your real friends are. And let me tell you, this group of people, we've had some trouble and they stick together. They don't run. They give you their advice. They give you their love. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to create a platform for people who wanted to change. Not everybody wants to change. And this isn't for everybody. So, if you're stuck and you don't want to get out of that mud, don't participate. Don't watch any more episodes. This is solely for the people who want to change their life. So I decided I needed to create that environment for myself. And if I could create it for myself and I could see change, then we could do that for other people. And again, this is for people who want to change. Not everybody does.
That's the thing I love that you added and you put that piece there, that want. What do you want for yourself, right? And that's a question that you sat with right now. What do you want for yourself, right? So imagery, just so you can see, I'm thicker than a snicker. I always say that, you see it, right? But for transformation to happen with me, I'm going to have to take more steps, right? I thought I was stepping enough, right? I was doing the stepping the way I've done in my past. When I was younger, my metabolism was different and I stayed smaller with the same metabolism, but I can't do it the same way I used to do it anymore. Mm-hmm. To become the best me in my today, that means I got to change my algorithm. I got to change the tools that I'm working with, and I got to get on the move, right? I got to get on the move. And one of those things is authenticity.
Yes.
This movement is authentic. Why is it authentic? Because it's not about what she is doing. Mm-mm. It's about what you're willing to do for you.
That's right. It's all about you.
It's about what you're willing to do for you. You got to have the vision. And so if you watch this, document that vision. But not only document the vision, get the ticket. I'm just playing with you. Get the ticket, right? Not only get the ticket, surround yourself. She just told you she had to surround herself with people who could lean into her, right? Who are you surrounded with? Because you may be surrounded by people that are weighing you down. You may be surrounded by people who are taken from you. You may be surrounded by people that don't see you, right? So
they don't want to see you. They would rather talk about you. They would rather pull you down. And at the minute that they see you trying to come up for air and making that change, and they're seeing that your life might be actually panning out, they're going to slap you back down. Those are the people you need to get rid of out of your life. And sometimes that's even family.
So real quick question, as we wrap up, that I want to ask you is, what is your output that you see BTB having in the next 10 years?
Wow, I see Christ moving people. And when I say moving people, I see him moving them in the direction that he wants them to go and cutting loose the people that you don't need surrounded in your life that are either troublemakers or holding you down, filling that mud bucket for you. You know, they're dumping that mud, trying to keep you down. I see Christ eliminating that, and I see him transforming lives. Even though this is not a Christian movement, we do talk about the Word of God. We do the Safe in His Arms conferences for those who want to receive more of that. Everybody is welcome. We don't care what your race is, what your sexual preference is. We want to see change in you. I just talk about Christ because he has been the one who's changed me from the inside out. I always will give him the credit, but I see in 10 years, I see millions of people changing their lives. That's what I see. And that's what I want to see. And that's what I want for everybody at your own pace when you're ready. But we want to give you the tools to do that.
So I asked her the question so the path can be illuminated, right? They say write the vision and make it plain so that others can run with it. So we just spoke about the vision in the presence of you so that you can run with it. I don't know if you already got your ticket, but if you do not got your ticket, let me say to you, you can go right on to the
ComeChangeYourLife.com. It's in the title, ComeChangeYourLife.com for the Becoming the Best You conference. We have them all over. We're going to probably be down in Florida in February. We're still trying to get that venue taken care of. The speakers, we have our core speakers, but you know, sometimes they can't make that date. So there's also other ones. We always talk about different things. Always. They'll share their stories, but it gets changed. It gets changed so you can keep coming back and learning more and more and more. You know, just like this time we have Isabel. She's going to be coming to the stage. She's going to talk a little bit about her story. Regina's coming back. I don't even know what this woman's going to talk about, but I know it's going to be good. She probably even know yet herself, but I'm telling you, it's going to be good because she will pray about it before she comes on that stage. How can it not be good when God's involved?
So again, I am Regina Platt, your stepologist, and I tell you, lean in, get your ticket, get in alignment. I gave you a couple tips on today. As you just watched, you need to tell that vision so it can be illuminated. You got to share it. You got to document it. Not only that, you got to understand that it's not a bad thing to be in the mud if you're willing to go through the process of progress. We thank you all for tapping in, and when you lean in, you always win. Thank you again for joining us on BTBY TV. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.